What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to EndFaze Games once again. Just got home from work and I wanted to put out a video because yesterday I watched, well, actually earlier this morning, I watched the interview that Zach from Team Covenant did with Cardboard Guide. And it kind of brought me into a new way of thinking, I think right now Sorcery is exactly where they planned it should be, and it's going exactly how they want it to be going. I know that there's a lot of questions in the community, is one set a year sustainable? We got the Dragon Lord set coming out at some point, which I did see. I guess at some point I missed it, that I don't know if it's sort of delayed or if they're reworking some cards or something, but I did see that I guess the rumbling is that the set should probably be dropping sometime in July. I said in a past video that I think that it's going to kind of coincide when Ed Beer Jr.'s Kickstarter, whether it's announced, released, whenever it's, fulfilled, that kind of thing, with his art book based on the dragon art that he does. I wonder if it's going to release around then, which I think in another topic, like July is going to be kind of rough, I think, because you have, I believe, Final Fantasy, the Universes Beyond is going to be releasing in July. So it's going to be big for Magic. And I don't think that they need to, stay away from July, but I don't know, with it being a smaller card set, I guess it shouldn't matter that much. But watching the video, I'm a big fan of Team Covenant. I like Zach and Steven a lot. I have nothing to do with their company. I like what they do. I love their streams. I think they're funny as hell. And I know that they do a lot of good for the Sorcery game, the Sorcery community. I'm super, hyped up to see that, they're eventually going to be, building a location, at some point down the line, and, for game space and stuff. And, who knows, that could be some sort of big, huge Sorcery event, in the future. But it did get me thinking, with some of the questions that, Sophie and Jens were asking. It got me thinking that I think right now we just kind of need to accept that the game is going exactly how the company planned it to go. Like, with the sustainability of one set a year, I think that we all got into Sorcery for one reason or another. It's kind of targeted towards mid-20s to upwards of 40s, that demographic of men. Ideally, there's women that play the game, and I think that with the hand-painted art, the maneuverability, the grid-based system, the one set a year, the indie game nature of the game, as far as, it's different. It's got that eye appeal. It's got that old school nature. These are all the things that led us to Sorcery. I was led to it because I came from MetaZoo, and I mentioned that in one of my past videos as well. And, I was just wanting a new game, and I saw the game. I was kind of questioning the grid-based nature of it at first, but once I played a game, I was immediately hooked. And I've been saying that over and over again. I think that if you play the game, you're going to get hooked on it. The art will lead you in. And, that's part of the one set a year kind of thing with, this is in old school. There's no AI art. They have to commission all of these art pieces. We thought that Arthurian Legends was a smaller set, 220 something cards, and they had to commission all of that. And to get that out, within, a year after beta, it's no small feat to accomplish that. And, a small company, they've grown a few members in their, their employees. And I think that it's where the game is where it should be. And we can be, kind of deterred a little bit, or I don't know if upset's the right word, But I think as, community members and consumers of this product, we do just kind of have to trust the process. And I find myself victim of not doing that, a lot of times as well. I got into the game. I love the idea of one set a year. I'm like, you know what? I only have to buy one set a year. I have all this time to collect it, but I want more. And it's okay to want more, but it's also okay for the company to say, we're going to stick to our guns. We're going to do one set a year. We're going to make sure that you enjoy this product. We're going to make sure that it's a high quality product. And that's just our game. This could be your main game. This channel is called EndFaze Games. It doesn't mean that I'm near the end of playing card games or anything like that, but we're in that demographic to where it's appealing to only have to buy one set of cards a year, or just build off of one or two boxes, build a few, somewhat competitive decks, just play at home because it's kitchen table natured, and that's okay. And it's okay to want more. I found myself both times when I got into Sorcery, I wasn't late to it because I found out right after beta released, I think, and I bought my first box off of Team Covenant's website, was immediately hooked. I pulled a Philosopher's Stone out of my first box, a non-foil one, and I think my other main hit, if I remember, was Color Out of Space. And I was just blown away. I went online immediately. I found some community members in one of the Facebook groups, I think, and he had play sets. I went through the old school checklist that they had online, and I checked off, give me play sets of everything. I bought an ordinary play set on eBay, opened them up, I, didn't pay a lot, and got the 4 of every card in the ordinary series, and I'm thumbing through the ordinary common group of cards, and I'm blown away. And I think that's what this game does. It exceeds expectations, for the most part. There is some stuff that they can do as far as gameplay, which I can get into, but I think at the end of the day, we just got to remember why we got into the game. And like I said, I fall victim to it. I kind of run out and, I'll get a few boxes. I'll probably buy more than what I should. And, I'll sell what I don't need, fuel the community, with cards that they need. If I have doubles, it's another thing that led me to the game. The rarity system, you only need one unique of a card, unless you don't like swapping cards in and out of decks. You just need one of Morgana. And that's a great thing. And it leads to a lot of parity in the gameplay as well. There's a lot of different decks that are good. Archmaga is very strong, but it's beatable. And you just have to be a good player. Like I did see one part of their interview with Team Covenant that, he was talking to Eric, and he was talking about how he was top decking and it seemed like he was slow, and it was funny that he was like, well, you're not playing it well. And I've evolved. I'm not the best Sorcery player by far, but I'm getting a little bit better each week when I do get to play. And you grow with the game. Maneuverability wasn't huge. Like if you look at the first Gen Con compared to this past year, I forget who put out that video, but somebody compared like the slowness of the Gen Con decks in 2023 compared to 2024, and the game has moved along, and it's a great thing. I do still, I'm hounding on that. I don't think a roadmap would be a bad idea. I did see a post that I guess Simon replied to somebody in one of the Discords that said that January has been a big planning month for them. So I'm really excited, to see what they're planning. A roadmap would be awesome. I think it would chill out some of the community to see what they're planning and stuff like that. But gameplay and a competitive scene is definitely what we want. Players, being in an indie game, you don't really have the luxury sometimes of, you can go to an LGS and play Magic every day. Somebody will be there to play Magic. And indie games don't start like that. You have to slowly build your community, and it can be discouraging, at first when, people aren't showing up for the gameplay or the game days, and you got to keep on trucking along. And I think that's just part of the growth stage of the game. Like all of the existing bigger games and stuff like that, they all started somewhere. You all start with 1, 2, 3, 4, grow it into 10 regular people, something like that, and then word of mouth spreads the game. So I think that content creation is going to be big. Sometimes it's hard to create content with these kind of lulls. So I'm gonna try and get creative with the content. I do like doing these sit down videos. They do seem to perform a little bit better. This channel is not all about getting views, but I do want it to get views because I want more people to know about the game, and I want more people to play Sorcery. It's an amazing game, and I think that's the next step. I'm hoping that since they brought Drew along board, that that is part of what they're planning, and hopefully they announce that soon, because I know the Courtesan Cup is going to be happening. Gen Con's going to be happening. They're going to have some sort of Sorcery Con at some point that I'm hoping to go to. Selfishly, I'm hoping that it's not in Vegas to save a little bit of money. If it is on the West Coast, very cool. I've been to Vegas already. It would be cool to go somewhere else, see some other sites, and play Sorcery in a new area. I know the first one I think was in Seattle. It would be cool to do Seattle again, or if they had like 2, like I believe Mike from Collector Art House was talking about, that he's sort of like on a Sorcery Con type of committee kind of thing. Like if they're gonna do some regional type things and then do maybe a Sorcery Con series, something like that. Because these smaller events, they're cool, but there's nothing like getting a bigger event. Like Gen Con last year was 64 players. I believe it had 64, 67, something like that. It's awesome. It's just awesome to take part of. They don't need to be massive, 300, 400 player tournaments. I think that can kind of lose sight of what the game is doing. The game will eventually get there, but I don't think it's there yet. So if we can do 100 player tournament, 120, that would be great. I'm thinking that Gen Con this year, I think it could push that number. I think 128, just to double the 64, that would be awesome turnout and a very awesome experience. And then mix in the draft and sealed. I wouldn't mind taking part in a sealed tournament, something like that. Everybody's on an even playing field. You are kind of, you rely on what you pull out of your packs, so does everybody else. And then it's just building the best deck from there. A little bit of luck, you can take home, one of the big, a crazy play mat, an art piece. The bigger tournaments always have these crazy, awesome prizes. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, just wanted to put out a quick video, just, keep on trucking along, trust the process kind of thing. And I think they're doing exactly what they set out to do, and we're along for the ride. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please click the subscribe button if you don't mind, like, and if you leave a comment, I'll try and reply as soon as I can. And thanks for tuning in. See you.